I'd been hit by a taxi and launched over 100 yards, taken a quick tour of hell, and got sent back because the devil apparently thought my life as a corporate wage slave was torture enough. I kept my life, but my brain had been wiped clean. Staring at the stunning woman in the high-end power suit sitting by my hospital bed, I rubbed my chin, lost in thought. "You're saying my girlfriend?" Her expression was cold, unreadable. She simply nodded. I looked her up and down. Impeccable features, killer figure. I swallowed hard, then shook my head. "I don't believe it. Unless you kiss me." I lay back against the pillows, touching the bandages wrapped around my skull, my eyes fixed on her. She wore a tailored black skirt suit that hugged her curves in all the right places. Her long legs were sheathed in sheer nude hose, ending in sharp stilettos. She radiated an icy, do not approach aura. The vibe, the looks, the body. My throat felt dry. The beauty just gave a curt nod, treating words like gold dust. "I don't buy it." I shook my head, skepticism plastered across my face. "Why would a woman like you be with a guy like me?" Even with amnesia, looking at my faded hospital gown and the calluses on my hands from years of manual labor, I knew I wasn't exactly high society material. Her brow furrowed ever so slightly, clearly impatient. "Believe what you want. Unless..." I rolled my eyes, a bold idea forming. "Unless you give me a kiss. To prove it." The air in the room instantly froze. I could feel a chill radiating from her. Crap, I pushed too far. My heart skipped a beat. Just as I was about to apologize and say I was joking, she actually leaned down. Her cool lips brushed against my forehead. It was fleeting, like a dragonfly skimming water, but she did it. I was stunned blank. She actually did it. A faint, pleasant scent filled my nose. Before I could process it, she straightened up, returning to her icy demeanor. "Believe me now?" I nodded dumbly, feeling like I was in a dream. Just then, the door was kicked open. A young man with slick back hair and a flashy suit strutted in, flanked by 2 bodyguards in dark shades. His eyes locked onto her immediately, his face twisting into a greasy, fawning smile. "Elena, what are you doing here? I've been looking everywhere for you." He glanced at me, his eyes full of disdain. "Is this the poor bastard who got hit by the car? Elena, why waste your precious time on a loser like this?" Her name was Elena Vance, CEO of Vance Global. The slick guy was Jerry Hobbs, a distant relative of the Vance family who had been trying to get in her pants for years. The information popped into my head the moment she kissed me. Fragmented, blurry, but real. Elena glared at Jerry, her voice dropping to absolute zero. "Jerry, who let you in? Get out." Jerry's smile stiffened, but he recovered quickly. "Elena, don't be like that. I'm just worried about you. I heard you blew off the contract signing with Thorn Enterprises for this waste of space. That's not a small thing." He pointed a finger at me, his voice rising. "For this beggar? Is it worth it?" "Elena, don't be stupid." Wow. Even with amnesia, I knew this guy was trash-talking me right to my face. I opened my mouth to speak, but Elena cut in. "Do I need your permission for my decisions?" Her eyes narrowed. "Security? Throw him out." Jerry's face turned ugly. He hadn't expected Elena to humiliate him in front of a nobody. "Elena." He dropped the CEO title, furious. "Don't be ungrateful. You have to come with me today. Julian Thorne is waiting for you at the hotel." He reached out to grab her wrist. My pupils constricted. It was instinct. I snatched an apple from the nightstand and, with everything I had, hurled it at Jerry's face. Thwack! A dull thud. The apple exploded against his nose, juice spraying everywhere. Jerry shrieked, clutching his face as blood gushed out. You dare hit me?" He pointed at me, incredulous. His 2 bodyguards lunged. "Stop!" Elena shouted, stepping in front of me. She looked back, her eyes holding a complex mix of shock and something else. "Jerry," she said, turning back to him, cold as a Chicago winter, "I'll say it once more. Get out, or don't blame me for forgetting we're related." Jerry's face twitched. He shot me a venomous look, then looked at the resolute Elena. He didn't dare push further. "Fine. Good. You've got guts, Elena." He covered his bleeding nose, spitting out a threat. "You offended Julian Thorne for this loser. You'll regret this." He fled the room with his guards. Silence returned. I looked at Elena, standing between me and the door. A warmth spread through my chest. She was cold, sure, but she protected me? You. We spoke at the same time. She signaled for me to go first. I scratched my head, asking awkwardly, "So, what you said earlier about being my girlfriend, is that true?" Elena's eyes flickered. She didn't answer directly. Instead, she asked, "You don't remember anything?" I nodded honestly. My brain is empty, like a reformatted hard drive. She was silent for a moment, then pulled a bank card from her purse and placed it on the nightstand. "There's $100,000 on this. The PIN is 6 zeros. Just focus on recovering. The company. I'll handle it. She turned to leave. Wait, I called out. Watching her back, I asked a question that felt weirdly important. What? What's your name? She paused, didn't turn around, and dropped 2 words. Elena Vance. Elena left, leaving me alone in the sterile room. I picked up the bank card, turning it over in my hand. 100 grand? For an amnesiac loser like me, that was an astronomical sum. She just gave it to me? And that Jerry guy, mentioning a Julian Thorne. I rubbed my throbbing temples, my mind a chaotic mess. These people, this situation, it all felt dangerously foreign. Just as I was spiraling, the door opened again. This time, it was a doctor in a white coat, followed by a nurse. He held a clipboard, adjusting his glasses as he approached. Caleb Reed, right? Results are in. You have a cranial hematoma causing temporary amnesia, but it's not critical. With rest and treatment, you should recover. I nodded. Doc, what about the guy who hit me? Did they catch him? The doctor shook his head. Hit and run. But there's surveillance. The police are investigating. Don't worry, they'll find him. He paused, then added, by the way, your hospital bills were paid in full by Ms. Vance. She even prepaid an extra $20,000 on your account. Just rest easy. My heart hammered. Who exactly was Elena Vance? Why treat me this well? Was she really my girlfriend? But why did I feel zero romantic connection? After the doctor left, I tossed and turned. My mind flashed between Elena's icy face and Jerry's arrogant mug. And this Julian Thorne. I had a gut feeling this wasn't over. Early the next morning, I woke up to a gourmet breakfast on a nightstand. Bagels, cream cheese, fresh fruit, and coffee. A note with elegant handwriting sat next to it. Eat. No signature, but I knew it was Elena. It went on like this for 3 days. She came daily, stayed briefly, dropped off food, and barely spoke. It didn't feel like a romance. It felt like a strange contract. On the afternoon of the 3rd day, I was stretching my limbs when an unexpected visitor arrived. My attending physician. He wasn't wearing his white coat, and he looked anxious. Mr. Reed, there's something we need to discuss. He rubbed his hands together nervously. What is it, Doc? Am I getting worse? I tensed up. No, he waved his hands. It's your room. He sighed, lowering his voice. This morning, a VIP admitted himself. He specifically demanded this private suite. So, could you move to a standard room? Don't worry about the cost. The hospital will cover the difference. I frowned. Elena arranged this room. I didn't want to cause trouble, but, Doc, that's not really appropriate, is it? Ideally, I paid for this room. You can't just kick me out. The doctor looked pained. Mr. Reed, please, help me out here. The guy who came in. It's the heir to Thorne Enterprises, Julian Thorne. The hospital can't afford to offend him. Julian Thorne? I'd heard that name. Jerry mentioned it. Offended Julian Thorne. So this was the guy. Anger flared in my chest. Why was he everywhere? Doc, it's not that I don't want to help, but first come, first served, right? My tone turned cold. I'm staying. Whoever he is, I don't care. The doctor, sweating now, hadn't expected me to be so stubborn. Mr. Reed, please. Reconsider. Julian, he has a temper. A temper means he gets whatever he wants. I sneered. I'm staying right here. Let's see what he does. Just then, heavy footsteps echoed in the hall. An arrogant voice boomed. Where is he? Tell that trash occupying my room to get the hell out. The door was kicked open before he finished. A young man in a loud floral shirt and thick gold chain walked in, surrounded by bodyguards. He scanned me with contempt, a cruel smirk playing on his lips. It was Jerry Hobbs again, bowing and scraping next to the man in the floral shirt. Mr. Thorne, that's him. That's the ungrateful piece of trash. Jerry pointed at me, gloating. Julian Thorne. So this was him. I stared at him, my eyes going cold. Looks like trouble found me. Julian Thorne looked me up and down like I was an ant he could crush for fun. He jabbed a finger in my direction, his voice dripping with command. I'll give you 3 seconds. Disappear from this room, or accept the consequences. Jerry immediately chimed in, riding his coattails. Hear that, loser? Mr. Thorne telling you to get out is a mercy. Don't push your luck. I sat up slowly on the bed, rolling my wrists. Crack, crack. I looked at Julian and pulled a chilling smile. And if I say no? Julian blinked, stunned, then burst into laughter, a loud, mocking cackle. Interesting. Very interesting. A brain damaged, nobody dares to talk back to me. The laughter cut off abruptly, replaced by a vicious glare. Looks like you need a lesson on who runs this city. He waved a hand at his guards. Beat him until he crawls out. 2 massive bodyguards marched toward me, stone-faced. The doctor turned pale and cowered in the corner. I took a deep breath. It was like a switch flipped in my body. Muscle memory woke up. As the first guard's fist flew toward my face, I slipped to the side, dodging effortlessly. In the same motion, my right hand snapped out, seizing his wrist. I twisted hard. Snap! The sound of bone breaking was crisp. The guard let out an inhuman scream. His arm bent at a sickening angle. The second guard roared and swung a heavy kick at me. I didn't retreat. I stepped in, delivering a brutal side kick straight to his knee. Crack! R! The second guard collapsed, clutching his leg, unable to stand. The whole thing took seconds. The room went deathly silent. Julian's smile froze, replaced by pure shock. Jerry's jaw hit the floor. They never imagined the weak invalid was a combat machine. That's it. I dusted off my hands, looking at Julian with contempt. Your guys are sloppy. Julian's face went from white to green to purple. He felt the humiliation like a slap in the face. Who the hell are you? He shouted, his voice cracking. Someone you can't afford to mess with. I walked toward him step by step. With every step I took, Julian took one back until he hit the cold wall. His remaining guards looked at their groaning comrades and hesitated. Don't come any closer. My father is Marcus Thorne, chairman of Thorne Enterprises. If you touch me, he won't let you live. Marcus Thorne? I repeated the name. A sudden, overwhelming wave of hatred crashed over me. A bloodthirsty urge screamed in my veins. My vision went red as I stared at Julian. Good. I'll remember that name. My voice rasped, sounding like it came from the grave. Julian, terrified by the look in my eyes, went weak in the knees. Thump! He dropped to the floor. A sharp smell of urine filled the air. He'd wet himself. Jerry looked like his soul had left his body. He scrambled to run. Freeze! My voice stopped him dead. Jerry went rigid, then turned slowly, crying, Big brother. No, Grandpa, I was wrong. I'm blind. Please, be the bigger man and let me go like a fart in the wind. I walked over, towering over him. Want to leave? I smirked. Sure. I pointed at Julian shivering on the floor. Repeat what he said earlier. Jerry blinked, confused. Repeat it. I barked. Jerry jumped, then stuttered, mimicking Julian's tone directed at himself. I'll give you 3 seconds. Disappear from this room. And I kept my face blank. Or accept the consequences. Good. I nodded. Now, give yourself 3 seconds. Roll. Jerry scrambled out of the room like a rat. I turned back to Julian. I crouched down, patting his pale cheek. Go back and tell your daddy, Marcus Thorne. His good days are over. I stood up and walked back to my bed. The room was terrifyingly quiet, save for Julian's heavy breathing and the smell of piss. Julian Thorne was dragged away by his guards, looking like a beaten dog. The doctor looked at me with pure fear now, stuttering out a please rest well before sprinting out. The room was finally quiet. I lay back, but my mind was a hurricane. Marcus Thorne. That name was a key. It unlocked the floodgates. Blurry, fragmented images assaulted me. I saw a man kneeling before a middle-aged figure, begging. Chairman Thorne, please. Spare our family. That land is our last hope. The middle-aged man, fat and vicious, Marcus Thorne, kicked the kneeling man over. David Reed, who do you think you are? Negotiating with me? I'm taking that land. The scene shifted. Fire, roaring flames, screams of agony. My parents, lying in pools of blood. Gah! I sat up violently, drenched in cold sweat, gasping for air. I remember. My name is Caleb Reed. My father was David Reed. And that fat bastard was Marcus Thorne, Julian's father. He killed my parents. He stole everything. A monstrous hatred swallowed my reason. My eyes felt like they were bleeding. My fingernails dug into my palms until they drew blood, but I felt no pain. Marcus Thorne. Julian Thorne. You'll pay in blood. Bam! I punched the wall behind the bed. The plaster cracked, leaving a fist-sized crater. What happened? A cool voice came from the door. I whipped my head around. Elena stood there, holding a thermos. Seeing my savage expression, red eyes, and the dented wall, her mask finally cracked. She looked shocked. Caleb? She asked tentatively. I stared at her, the red haze slowly fading as reason returned. I remember. My voice was hoarse. Elena set the thermos down and walked to my side. Her eyes held worry, curiosity, and something I couldn't read. What do you remember? My parents. And my enemies. I ground the words out. Elena went silent. She knew. I grabbed her shoulders, staring into her eyes. Elena, tell me, did you know everything? Why are you here? Are you my girlfriend? What are we? The questions fired like bullets. I was gripping her hard, but she didn't pull away. She looked at me for a long time before speaking softly. Yes, I knew. About your parents. About Marcus Thorne. I'm here because, before your father died, he asked me to look after you. I froze. My father asked her. As for us being a couple. Elena looked away, her voice awkward. I made that up so you'd rest and recover peacefully. Not a couple. A strange disappointment pang hit me. Then why help me? I pressed. Just because of my father? She avoided my gaze. Your father did me a great kindness once. A kindness? Question swirled. But that wasn't the priority. Elena, I said firmly, I'm going to get revenge. I'm going to make Marcus Thorne pay. Elena turned back, her expression grave. Caleb, calm down. Marcus Thorne has deep roots in Chicago. He owns half the politicians and the gangs. He isn't easy to touch. So what? I sneered, murder in my eyes. He killed my parents. I'll take his life. God or devil, anyone who stands in my way dies. Seeing my resolve, Elena sighed. She pulled a folder from her bag. Thorne Enterprises is bidding on the South Side Revitalization Project. This is all their data. Maybe it can help. I opened the file. It was detailed, financials, personnel, black market ledgers. I looked at her in shock. How did you get this? I have my ways. I looked at her and realized this woman wasn't just a CEO. Her background was deeper than I thought. Thank you, Elena. I meant it. She shook her head. Just repaying a debt. The path you choose is up to you. She paused. Julian took a loss today. Knowing him, he won't let it slide. Be careful. I nodded, a cold light in my eyes. Let him come. I'll charge interest. After Elena left, I devoured the dossier. Thorne Enterprises, a local giant worth billions. Marcus Thorne, ruthless, built his empire on dirt. The file detailed how he used blackmail and violence to corner my father, David Reed, and drive him to his death. Reading the text, my hatred erupted like a volcano. Blood for blood, but I knew I couldn't be reckless. Revenge is a dish best served cold. I needed a plan. The South Side Project, a massive city development, huge profits. Thorne was leveraged to the hilt to win it. If this project failed, his capital chain would snap. He'd implode. I smiled grimly. Marcus, your time is up. For the next few days, I lay low, using the hospital Wi-Fi to research everything about the project. I found that Vance Global, Elena's company, was the other major bidder. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Maybe I could partner with Elena. But before I could reach out, trouble arrived. That night, while reading, I heard the lock click on my door. Then thick smoke poured through the gap. Fire. Someone was trying to burn me alive. My first thought, Julian Thorne. The petty coward couldn't win a fight, so he played dirty. The smoke thickened. I ran to the window, welded shut with iron bars from the outside. They wanted me dead, no escape. Rage burned hotter than the fire. But danger made me calm. I soaked a towel, covered my face, and scanned the room. My eyes landed on the bed frame. I ripped a steel support bar loose with a grunt of exertion. I aimed at the door handle and swung. Clang, clang. My hands bled from the impact, but I didn't feel it. Hatred fueled me. Boom. The lock shattered. I kicked the door open and dove into the hallway, which was already an inferno. Alarms blared. Chaos. I moved against the flow of fleeing patients, heading for the stairwell. At the landing, I saw shadowy figures sneaking away. One of them was the bodyguard from the other day. Gotcha. I roared and launched myself down the stairs like a predator. They didn't expect the guy they just torched to come flying out of the fire. I kicked one down, punched another. In seconds, the arsonists were groaning on the floor. I grabbed the bodyguard by his collar, lifting him off the ground. Where is Julian? He shook, terrified, pointing down. Parking garage. Waiting. I knocked him out and sprinted downstairs. I was going to show Julian Thorne the true meaning of despair. I burst into the underground garage. Under the dim lights, Julian stood next to a flashy red Ferrari, smoking and laughing into his phone. Dad, don't worry, it's done. That kid is probably Ash by now. Ha ha. He laughed maniacally. I stepped out of the shadows. My shoes clicked on the concrete. Click, click, click. In the empty garage, it sounded like a countdown. Julian turned, saw me, and froze. His phone clattered to the ground. The cigarette fell from his lips. You. He pointed, hand shaking like a leaf. You should be burned to death. I finished for him, wearing a demon's smile. I walked closer. Stay back. Are you human or ghost? Julian scrambled backward, tripping and falling on his ass. I crouched over him. I'm human. A human who crawled back from hell to collect your debt. I grabbed his jaw, forcing him to look at me. Playing with fire is fun. Huh? No, it wasn't me. I don't know what you're talking about. Still lying. Really? I pulled out my phone and played the recording of his call. Dad, don't worry, it's done. Julian turned sheet white. He never thought I'd record him. I I was wrong. Caleb. No, Caleb, sir. I was wrong. He broke down, sobbing. Please, spare me. I'll give you money. Lots of money. Money. I scoffed. You think I care about your dirty money? This face. This was the son of the man who destroyed my family. I raised my fist. D. Just as I was about to smash his skull, headlights blinded me. Tires screeched. A black Bentley drifted to a halt nearby. Elena jumped out. Caleb, stop. I paused, looking at her. You can't kill him. She ran over, grabbing my arm. If you kill him, you're done too. He's not worth it. Seeing her panic, my rage subsided slightly. She was right. Killing him now was too easy. I wanted the whole Thorne family buried. I wanted Marcus to feel what I felt. I released Julian. He slumped like a pile of mud, gasping. I stood up. Get lost. Tell your old man to wash his neck and wait for me. I turned to Elena. Why are you here? The hospital fire. You didn't answer your phone. She looked at the unconscious goons in the stairwell doorway, then at me. I was worried. A warmth hit me again. Someone cared. Thanks, I said. Get in. She opened the car door. It's not safe here. As the Bentley pulled away, leaving Julian and his Ferrari in the dust, I knew the war had officially begun. The car was quiet. Elena drove with focus. You knew Julian would come for me? I asked. Yes, she said. Why didn't you warn me? She glanced at me. Would you have listened? I stayed silent. She was right. I was too angry. I just didn't think he'd be stupid enough to torch a hospital, she added. Not stupid. Arrogant, I corrected. To him, we're ants. What's your plan now? She asked. Revenge. I know. I mean specifics. I told her about attacking the South Side Project funding. She nodded. It's a start, but not enough. Marcus is slippery. A financial hit will hurt, but won't kill him. We need to attack on all fronts. We? I caught the word. She flushed slightly. Vance Global is bidding too. Weakening Thorne helps me. Logical. What do you need me to do? Tomorrow, Vance Global is holding a strategy meeting for the bid. I want you there. Me? I blinked. I don't know corporate strategy. Yes, you do. She looked confident. I looked up your father. David Reed was a genius engineer. You're his son. I believe in you. I went quiet. My memories of architecture and planning were coming back. Okay, I'll go. She drove to a high-end, gated community. Stay here. She handed me a key card. It's safe. I scrubbed your digital footprint. The Thorns won't find you. You've done so much. Repaying a debt, she cut me off. Once you get your revenge, we're even. She drove off. I watched her taillights fade. Even? Could we ever be even? The apartment was luxurious. Fully stocked. She thought of everything. I showered, changed into the new clothes she left, and sat down to think. Marcus Thorne, just wait. The next day, I arrived at Vance Global, a massive skyscraper. A young secretary greeted me. Mr. Reed? I'm Maya Brooks, Ms. Vance's secretary. She eyed my casual look with curiosity, but remained professional. She led me to the top floor conference room. It was packed with executives. When I walked in, silence fell. Skeptical eyes bore into me. Elena, at the head of the table, nodded. This is Caleb Reed, a special consultant I've brought in for the South Side bid. Special consultant? Whispers broke out. So young. Doesn't look like a pro. Leonard Baxter, the vice president, stood up. He was an old-timer, arrogant. Ms. Vance, I'm not questioning you, but the South Side project is critical. Bringing in an outsider. Isn't that reckless? Others nodded agreement. Elena's face darkened, but I stepped forward before she could speak. I looked at Baxter. Reckless. Baxter sneered. Isn't it? I smiled. Let's make a bet. I picked up the proposal on the table. You led this. I did. Baxter puffed up. It's full of holes. I tossed it back down. Slap. You. Baxter turned red. What do you know? I know there are 3 fatal errors. The room went dead silent. First, budget is underestimated. The geological survey is wrong. You'll run out of cash halfway. Second, you underestimated Thorne's weakness. Third, and most importantly, your design ignores the city's new zoning direction. If the new regulations pass, this plan is illegal. Baxter went pale. The third point, he hadn't considered it. I walked to the whiteboard. I'm not here to play politics. I'm here to help Vance Global win and to bury Thorne Enterprises. My voice was steel. Cooperate with me. If anyone plays games behind my back, I let the threat hang. The executives looked down. They saw the killer in my eyes. The meeting was a total victory. Baxter slunk out, hateful. I didn't care. Afterward, inside Elena's office, she poured me tea. A rare smile touched her lips. You impressed me. Basic stuff? I shrugged. How did you know about the zoning? She asked. Secrets of the trade. Truth was, My father had predicted the city's expansion years ago. I was just connecting the dots. Watch out for Baxter, Elena warned. He's petty. I'm not worried about him. What's next? We rewrite the proposal. Since we know the regulations, we make a plan they can't refuse. Okay, resources are yours. She called Maya in. Maya, you're reassigned to Caleb's special team. Maya looked shocked but obeyed. Outside, I took Maya to an empty office. You think I'm unqualified to boss you around? She stiffened. Here, I slid a check for 50 grand across the desk. Bonus. From me. Her eyes widened. Mr. Work for me, you eat steak. Play games, and you end up worse than Baxter. Carrot and stick. Maya bowed deeply. Understand. I'm with you. Good. First task. Dig up dirt on Vice President Baxter. Everything dirty he's ever done. Maya was efficient. By the next afternoon, a thick file was on my desk. Baxter's bribes, kickbacks, affair, it was all there. Good job. Maya looked excited. Do we give this to Elena? No. Baxter is still useful. I smirked. He's going to be our Trojan horse. That night, I met Baxter at a quiet tea house. He looked furious. What do you want? I slid the envelope to him. He opened it, looked at the photos, and turned ghostly pale. You investigated me. Relax. I just want a favor. What favor? I want you to leak our bid to Marcus Thorne. He gaped at me. Are you insane? No. I want you to leak a fake bid. Make him believe it's real. Led him into the trap. Baxter trembled. What's in it for me? You stay out of jail, and enough money to retire. He slumped. Okay, I'll do it. 3 days later, at Thorne Enterprises, Marcus Thorne laughed, holding the stolen documents. Heaven helps me. Baxter caved so easily. Julian grinned. Dad, you're a genius. We'll just undercut their price and optimize this design. They were walking right off a cliff. Standing on the roof of Vance Global, looking at the city lights, I told Elena, the fish has taken the bait. She looked at me. Sometimes you scare me, Caleb. I smiled. To fight devils, you have to be one. And after, she asked. After revenge. Live for yourself. My heart skipped a beat. The bidding day arrived at the convention center. Vance Global on the left, Thorne Enterprises on the right. Tension was thick. Julian drew a finger across his throat at me. I ignored the clown. Thorne Enterprises went last. Julian presented their plan, the optimized version of our fake bid. It looked good. The judges nodded. Julian walked past me, whispering, See that, loser? That's the gap between us. I looked at him like he was an idiot. Don't blink. The show's just starting. I took the stage. No speech. Just one sentence. Thorne's proposal is garbage. The crowd gasped. Marcus stood up roaring. Security. A judge frowned. Explain yourself. Evidence. I clicked the remote. The screen displayed a document. City Planning Commission. Strategic Zoning Update. Approved this morning. This is the new zoning law. The crowd erupted. Thorne's plan violated every single new regulation. It was illegal. Now, is it garbage? I asked. Silence. Marcus Thorne collapsed in his chair, muttering, Impossible. I clicked again. Vance Global's real proposal appeared. Perfect compliance. Innovative. Cheaper. The winner was obvious. The contract goes to Vance Global. Thud. Marcus Thorne vomited blood and passed out. Dad! Julian screamed. I watched coldly. This is just the beginning. Marcus had a stroke. Thorne Enterprises collapsed overnight. The fake bid exposed their incompetence, and the ensuing investigation, fueled by the evidence I gave the authorities, revealed their crimes. Stock crashed. The empire crumbled. Julian was arrested for arson and assault. The Thorne family was dead in the water. Standing in Elena's office, watching the news, I felt empty. It's over, Elena said softly. Yeah. Marcus is paralyzed. Julian is facing 20 years. You won. Thanks to you, I said sincerely. We're even, she said again. My heart stung. I guess. I should go then. She didn't look at me. Up to you. I laughed bitterly and turned to the door. Caleb. I stopped. She pulled a framed photo from her desk. An old, yellowed picture. A boy and a girl. The boy was putting a ring woven of grass on her finger. I stared. The boy was me. Remember? Elena's eyes were red. My family was poor. You protected me. You gave me this grass ring and said you'd marry me. When your family died, I swore I'd become strong enough to help you. I thought you forgot. Tears streamed down her face. The ice melted. Memories flooded back. The little girl who called me Caleb Bear. I didn't just know her. I loved her. I rushed over and pulled her into a tight hug. I'm sorry, Elena. I'm sorry I forgot. She buried her face in my chest, sobbing out years of waiting. It's not too late, Caleb. It's not too late. Outside, the sun was shining. Our story was just beginning. Story complete.